To introduce the award for President Wałęsa, I'm happy to call to the stage Bronislaw Misztal, the Executive Director of the Permanent Secretariat of the Community of Democracies. He has been engaged for decades in building civil society in countries struggling for democracy worldwide, so very much deserving of an award on his own behalf, but in this case he'll accept it on behalf of a sick Lech Walesa and a very well Polish people.
Madam Secretary, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Community of Democracies, I have the honor and pleasure today to introduce President Lech Walesa, the legendary leader of the Polish Solidarity movement and a towering symbol of how can one make the best use of historical adversity for the public and social good. By awarding him, the Atlantic Council is symbolically awarding all the freedom fighters and pro-democracy activists who strive to make the world better. Thus, Lech Walesa is not a singular case. By awarding him today, we commend both an individual and the way he has taken advantage of historical circumstances. He saw an advantage where others have seen adversities. He made an opening where others have seen a solid obstacle. In a very short span of history, nominally from the summer of 1980 until the end of his presidency, he has made a significant contribution to the political culture of the world, to the imaginary vision of what a good society is. And he has made a practical imprint on the minds of almost all people of the world, regardless of their literacy levels, political astuteness, or civic engagement. While democracy existed, petrified, and prevailed in a small part of the world known as the West, Lech Walesa has almost single-handedly brought democracy to the rest, brought the concept and the spirit of democracy to the minds of the people for whom, as for myself, it was unthinkable that they too can experience firsthand what a thick and rich texture does the democratic civil society offer. He brought democracy and freedom to the rest of the world, and he made a significant part of the rest to join the West. This is what we celebrate today. Democracy and freedom form a very particular normative commodity in modern society. We believe that with the ascent of modernity, people yearn for one and desire another, that their lives are ameliorated when the combination of two occurs. We frequently ask ourselves two questions. What comes first, democracy or freedom? And which one is hinged upon another? Do we need democracy first in order to win freedom, or does freedom make a necessary condition for democracy? And also, who are the agents of democracy? Or whence does the agency lay? In individual minds, in cultural specificity, or is it accidental? In fact, can history be shaped, or does it simply happen? There is also an issue of when does the spectacular breakthrough of democracy or the qualitative improvement occur? How much freedom do we have to have in order for democracy to make a significant improvement in human lives? Lech Walesa's life trajectory is the best testimony to the fact that history is unpredictable, that it simply happens. Furthermore, Lech Walesa himself, in his acceptance speech for the Nobel Prize, said, "Despite everything that happens in Poland, I believe that we are determined to have national reconciliation. My greatest hope is that Poland will regain its chance of peaceful evolution, and that this is going to be Poland to demonstrate to the world that dialogue, rather than coercion, solves even the most difficult situations." And he was true to the word when he was saying that solidarity is not going to be neither divided nor exterminated. In fact, when he spoke solidarity, he sought democracy and freedom. Many years later, at the 25th anniversary of his acceptance of the Nobel Prize, in his final message to the thousands of people, Walesa has proclaimed that lifting the ideas of solidarity to the global level, the Community of Democracies is the natural heir to the task once undertaken by this most spectacular institution of civil society in Poland, and maybe throughout the world. Lech Walesa has also demonstrated that the agency of democracy lies in the minds of individuals, that those are the rebels with a cause who change the world to the better. He was also intuitively right to presume that freedom and democracy together build the capacity of the people, that they enhance and unfreeze the most precious social capital, citizenship. Poles are now the proud and educated citizens of their country, of the European community, and of the global alliance of democratic nations. One has to commend the Atlantic Council and its president and CEO, Mr. Fred Kempe, for his extremely thoughtful and far-sighted political perspective on the matters global. By awarding this very prestigious Freedom Award to Mr. Walesa, we send a message to the world that democracy and freedom matter, that the world needs out of the box fresh and new democracy and freedom agenda, and that working on this agenda is the most critical issue for advancing of the transatlantic relations. As we reflect tonight on the significance of this award and on the historical impact that Mr. Walesa has made on the world, let us not forget that we are all children of democracy, that the majority of the world population has not known the world without solidarity and without its fundamental contribution to what many of us take for granted, freedom. Thank you very much.
Lech Walesa has just sent us personally his most heartfelt regrets that he wasn't here. He's very sorry he was unable to make it because of his illness. I cannot accept the award for him, but we're going to find another time where we can get him either in Warsaw, Washington, or somewhere else to do that. Let's take a break now, and please enjoy your main course.